Your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And we welcome everybody into game night, game afternoon, game day, whatever you'd like to call it. Jason Ross in for Scott Marsh. You just heard Scott not long ago calling UC Davis basketball. So I'm in the studio hanging out with my guy, the high flyer, the ex-King, Henry Turner. What's up, HT?
What's up, Jay? We's here.
Long road trip beginning today in Minnesota, but I know it's cold there. It's beautiful here today. Got a nice day out today.
It's a nice day today.
Yeah.
I just traveled in from the Bay and
nice.
Started out foggy, but it was a nice day down there also.
Yeah, we had fog here early, but beautiful sunshine out there today, and hopefully we're starting a good road trip here for the Kings, because the last game we saw for the Kings was not their best version. I thought Toronto just totally took them out of their game.
El Stinko Grande.
See.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a stinker, Jason.
And they happen.
Yes, definitely. Not the worst thing to happen for the Sacramento Kings. They would have loved to won that game, but I think it's one of those games to where you get guys getting back to being hungry and refocused. When you start winning a lot of games early on, some teams can get complacent. Oh, well, we're supposed to win, so all we have to do is go out there and step on the accelerator offensively, and we're able to win the basketball game. No, you have other things that you have to do if you're the Sacramento Kings to be able to win.
Yeah, and it's funny in the way the seasons go. We talk about sometimes schedule losses. I don't know that this was that case as far as back-to-back or things stacking up against the Kings. I'm talking more about Toronto. Apparently, word out of their camp after they were through here, I guess they had one of those player meetings. Coach challenged them about their defense, and their first game after that was the Kings, and I felt like they had a game plan that they executed, and that was just kind of one of those teams that was a little bit angry with the way they played, and they took it out on Sacramento, unfortunately.
And they looked good, Jason.
They sure did.
They played a good brand of basketball, and it's one of those things to where it also gets the Kings refocused back to you're not that good just to have a light switch mentality.
Right.
You have to come out and you have to work hard to win every basketball game.
Yeah, and overall, big picture, things are still really good for the Sacramento Kings. Where they're sitting. I mean, we are goals before the season, team goals, Henry, was going to be to get this team to break the playoff streak. Now, they haven't done it yet, but they're tracking it for sure, and we were thinking this team was going to be hovering more around the 10 and 9, and that still could be where they end up. But where we speak today, they're third right now in the West. It's really been an amazing turnaround.
Have definitely overachieved when you look at where we started off at the beginning of the year. No one ever thought that the Kings would be in this position, not even us. I mean, I'm definitely happy that they're there.
Sure.
I'm enjoying the ride, understanding that, Coach Brown has come in here and has done a magnificent job. Definitely changed his team around, changed the culture. Everything that's about basketball, Sacramento-wise here, has definitely been changed for the positive. So, hats off to Coach Brown. But at the end of the day, I think now, Jason, it's a situation to where they're in a sprint for the All-Star break.
Yeah.
In that sprint, if they can play 500 to the All-Star break, that's great basketball.
Yeah, right now, today begins the season-long 7-game road trip. They come home for 2. And then I think it's 2 more on the road before the All-Star break. So, I mean, the All-Star break is, 10 games away, and then after that, there's 25 to go. I mean, it all starts to go really fast. You got a trade deadline in between there. Some teams could be changing, even the Kings potentially. There's going to be a lot of movement here in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, no doubt. And, like you said, it's 10 more games before All-Star break, right?
Yeah, let me double check. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10, yeah, there's 10. 8 of 10 on the road.
Yeah, 10 games for All-Star break. If the Kings can go 5-5, great stretch between now and All-Star break, because, Jason, they're going to need those games, because I'm going to tell you right now, I was looking over the schedule, and I'm looking where guys are, and I'm looking to seeing, okay, when guys are about to get healthy. After All-Star break, all of the quote-unquote super teams, Boston, except Boston. You got Milwaukee, Philly, and definitely let me see, who else in the East?
Maybe Brooklyn.
Yeah. They're going to get ready.
Yeah.
If they can right the wrong, it's definitely have to be done after All-Star break. Same thing on the West.
Yeah.
Golden State, both the LAs, maybe even Denver or sprinkle in Dallas. Those are the teams that were perceived to be at the top, the higher echelons. those teams are definitely going to be looking to get back because they understand they didn't drop a lot in this first half. So if the Kings can play 500 and get those equity games, I think they still, even if those teams come back in a Herculean type way, they're still going to be in the mix.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're just knocking games off the schedule. You don't want to just get into a horrific drought. I mean, if you keep knocking games off, play close to 500 or better, then you're going to be in terrific shape. But to your point, Henry, just this week, you see Ingram comes back for New Orleans.
Right.
AD came back for LA. So it's starting to happen with some of these guys that have been out are starting to come back.
And like I said, and after All-Star break, these teams are going to understand they are championship or bust teams. So after All-Star break, it isn't no more playing.
Right.
You know, there isn't no more lackluster type games. They got to really get going, get geared up. So they're not walking in the arena saying, okay, well, you know what? Okay, we were down at third quarter. Okay, next game. No. Yeah. They're coming in hungry and ready to get every game they possibly can. So with the Kings, if they can play 500 up until All-Star break, that puts them in a great position. Even if a significant drought hit, they will still be able to weather the storm if they can bounce back.
Yeah, and the beauty about being third is there's not a big gap between third and 10th, but there's just so many teams. And for example, when people say, well, what if the Kings go cold and when some of these other teams get hot? Well, they all can't. There'll be nights where, let me just pick, the T-Wolves will play the Suns. Well, one's going to lose. Then the Jazz are going to play the Warriors. Well, one's going to lose. I mean, one or two could pass them, certainly, and unless the Kings just had a fall off the cliff type second half.
And see, and that's what I'm saying, Jay. Those 5 games are going to be a big buffer for the Kings. Even if they hit a decent drought, at that third position, and if they can get those 5 games, they're still going to be in the mix if they hit a major drought.
Yeah.
So these next 10 are critical.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk about this road trip coming up. We're just getting started here on game day here. Jason Ross in for Scott Marsh. We got the high flyer Henry Turner. Of course, we are brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience how the power of family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or go to powercopiers.com. We will go ahead and take the break here. When we come back, we'll get into some of the other news of the week. Monty McNair and the Kings work out that contract extension. There's all good things going on right now with the Kings. We've got that when we come back on Sactown Sports.
It's Championship Sunday on Sactown Sports. The Red and Gold look to get back to the big game for a second time in 4 seasons. Then Cincinnati looks to repeat as conference champs, but will have to go through Kansas City on their road to the big game at 3:30. Catch all the action on your home for Championship Sunday at 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports, your local sports leader.
Sactown Sports coverage of Championship Sunday is brought to you by Xfinity.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the next generation of speed with the long-awaited Ping G430 line of clubs. With more ball speed, improved sound, and movable weights, the Max Driver is something special. You'll find distance with forgiveness in the fairways, carbon fly wrap in the hybrids, and 7 to 10 yards more in the irons. G430 was worth the wait. Ask about the full line of Ping G430 woods and irons at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at HagenOaks.com.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured, remember,
For the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
What's up? We're joined by Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. What's going on, Chad, for Chrysler's Start Something New event?
Now is your chance to save up to $4,000 off MSRP on new 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE. If you've been looking for a way to move the family around while saving money on gas, this is the Jeep that can do both.
Well, saving gas is good, but there's nothing like the sound of American muscle.
I know. And now you can hear it every day on your way to work with savings up to $5,000 off MSRP on new 2022 Dodge Challenger GTs, starting as low as $29,995. Plus, we have tons of savings on California's best selection of Ram trucks, too.
So why are you waiting? Get the new car or truck of your dreams with no dealer markup and no games at Hoblet Dodge in historic downtown Woodland. Or search, select, and save through their full inventory at HobletDodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
$4,000 in total net savings on 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE base. $5,500 total net savings on select 2022 Dodge Challenger GTs after $2,500 factory rebates and $3,000 dealer discount. 5 at each net savings. See dealer for details.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win. Unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion, persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
All right, rolling along. Jason Ross in for Scott Marsh. We got the high flyer Henry Turner here. This is game night. Kings and Timberwolves coming up right here on Sactown Sports. Henry and I are back as well with the pregame coming up at 4:30 with the G-Man as well. Good news this week, Henry, for the Kings. I would say Kings fans, Kings organization. Monty McNair finally got his contract extension.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Monty, let me hold some, bro. I know you got that money going.
This feels right? I mean, Monty did way more, has done way more positive things. There's been so many good moves. Again, no coach is going to be perfect, no players going to be perfect, no front office guys going to be perfect. But I think he and the front office have done a really good job and have deserved this. It just took a while to get there, but they got there.
Jason, a great job.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at where we are compared to where we used to be, everybody deserves it, man. I mean, you know, I just gave Coach Mike Brown his flowers. The players deserve theirs, and the front office deserve theirs.
Yeah.
And even the owner, you know, I mean, giving these guys the leeway to do what they need to do to make this team a better basketball product.
How much of a deal is the front office to a player? It is to get you there, maybe if they traded for you, Henry, or drafted you, or free agent signing. But after that, how much, I don't want to say they're irrelevant to the players, but how much of a back and forth do you have, would you say, with the front office?
With the players?
Yeah. Not too much, right?
Not too much.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a pecking order.
Mm-hmm.
So it shouldn't be a situation, Jason, to where players can leapfrog coaches and go straight to the GM or the owners.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way. You know, that's why you say everybody has to be on a string. You have the owner, you have the GM, you have the coach, you have the players. That's that chain of command, you know, and then you know, you can sprinkle in your assistant coaches in there somewhere somehow, but at the end of the day, you know, when you can just have your players leapfrog everybody and go to the owner and get his way, that's dissension.
Yeah, I think too, the other part that we've talked about, Henry, for years about the culture and why it's so important to change, one, internally to obviously win more games, to feel good about what you're doing, but you know it, players talk. And so in the past, if you were a free agent and you heard Sacramento was interested, I'm not sure I want to go to Sacramento. I mean, they've been in the playoffs in 10 years, in 15 years, now 16 years. Well, now if players are talking, you go, this Mike Brown, I know him. He's a pretty good coach. Mm-hmm. That arena is great. Every time I go in there as a visitor, it's pretty happening place. The offense is number one. Like, that's a fun offensive system. Like, there's a lot more things that are now, and they're winning.
They have some pluses.
Yeah.
They have a lot of things that will intrigue some you call quote unquote big time free agents.
Yeah, but players talk about that, right?
Of course, because players like, hey man, you see what D Fox and Sabonis is doing down here? Man, all they gotta do is put me on the wing. I'll be a monster on that team.
Sure.
Yes, they talk. things like that happen. And like you said, Sacramento, nice city. That arena is the bomb. Okay, you're still in the NBA, and now they're winning basketball games, man. Oh, do I want to go down there and be a part of that? Let's think about it.
Right.
It's not one of those situations where it's like, you can trade me anywhere, just don't trade me to Sacramento.
Right.
It's not that sentiment anymore.
Yeah. So this is good, though. He's lined up. Monty is with Coach Brown. We're loving, as you said, the flowers you gave to Mike Brown. You love the situation the team is in, the way they're playing, the continuity. That's what's been missing, too, is just they're changing a GM, then changing the coach, or vice versa. Now it just feels like there's harmony here. Everything's in sync right now.
It does. I mean, it just seems like everything is working out well. The team is playing well. I mean, even in the arena, Jason, when you look at the staffers, you look at the assistant coaches down to the players, everyone has smiles on their faces.
Right.
So that's when you know things are going well, when people are having fun.
Yeah, it's good to see. And I think Monty, and I keep saying Monty, it's really the front office. And it's the entirety of the group. And the other thing I'm sure Vivek and those that had to make that decision had to start thinking about is, the longer it took, I'm sure there were going to be other people that were looking at Monty's in the running for GM of the year, executive of the year. And, the longer it took, you might lose someone like that. And so now they don't have to worry about that.
Right. Because it's the sentiment of saying, too little, too late.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even let's say if they waited to the end of the year and said, okay, Monty, we're going to give you your extension. At that particular point, you never know who's in their feelings. And it's like, you guys could have done this a long time ago. So now I'm going to look at my options.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you get one of these other teams that say, you see what Monty did with Sacramento? And he still isn't signed? Yeah, I mean, that's how you lose a good thing. So with the Kings stepping up and doing what they did with Monty McNair, rightfully so.
Yeah, it like I said, there's a lot of positives right now on a night-to-night basis. We say it at all the home games. The vibe is so good. They're coming off one of their most disappointing home games, but still, it feels good when you enter that building every night. It feels like they got a chance to win every night there.
They do. They definitely have a chance to win. And Jason, I've been saying this since the season started. I think all of our prayers were answered because our main prayer was, let's just have a competitive team. We wasn't even worried about the wins and losses, remember?
Yeah.
We were just let the team be competitive. Well, we got exactly what we prayed for, was a very competitive team, and now they're winning basketball games. They just aren't competitive. They're pretty damn good.
Yeah, and I think, too, when they lose, there's usually a redirect and there's a reason for the loss, and then they focus on an area that's been derailing them, whether it's been points in the paint or defense or rebounding. And I'm anxious to see how they respond. They've had a couple days to get ready for this Minnesota game. T-Wolves played last night against Memphis. So the Kings were already in Minnesota while Minnesota was playing this home back-to-back. So there's some things tonight just to see how the response is for the Kings coming off that Toronto game.
I honestly think that they're going to respond very well. If they don't, I'm pretty sure Coach Mike's going to have a fit.
Yes.
Because, you had days off.
Yep.
Okay, you just had a clunker.
Yeah.
You had days off to reflect. You've had days off to say, okay, what do we need to fix? You've had days off to get your mind, get your body right. Now you're going to another situation where you're starting off another road trip. You want to have a productive road trip, so you need to come out with the right frame of mind.
Absolutely, and hopefully they do that. Let's grab our guy Nick here for a quick minute before we break. Hey, Nick, how are you?
How are you doing today, Jason Rod?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
Well, I just want to say, the Kings are going to win tonight. We're going to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves, and we're going to have to win.
Well, of course. So why are they winning? Why are you so confident they're winning tonight?
Because I'm confident, because I know Minnesota beat Memphis yesterday, but I know we can beat Minnesota today. We can beat them twice. We have them both times.
All right.
Yeah, you're right, Nick. That's the weird part about this too, Henry. Is they've got them tonight and then Monday, and the Kings are in Minnesota. Of all the places in the league, they got into Minnesota yesterday. They're there today, tomorrow, and Monday.
Yeah.
They're getting comfy in Minnesota.
Well, you know what, Jason? Let's not just dump on Minnesota, okay?
Yeah.
Minnesota isn't the worst place in the world to be, but
it's close.
But you're terrible. But according to the weather at this particular point, is not the most favorable place to be. South Beach does sound a little bit better than Minnesota at this point.
Yeah, that's why they have those the hamster trails up there where you can just get everywhere. You don't even have to go outside. We talked to Kevin Herter early in the week on the morning show, and he's like, I'm bringing my PS5. Like, they're just going to be in their room and whatever. Nap, practice, eat, sleep. Not much out and about.
Jason, that weather will put a hamper on whatever you want to do outside.
Yeah, it's just not going to be happening. All right, we're going to talk more about this road trip coming up. We do want to tell you that more than 100 youth from our community need a mentor, and you can help. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, one-to-one mentoring program matches adult volunteers and children based on personal interests, life experiences, and geographic proximity. Now, the program serves children ages 7 to 18 who are being raised by single parents, grandparents, or foster parents in Sacramento, Yolo, and South Placer counties. Call 916-646-9300 or visit bbbs-sac.org to learn about being a volunteer mentor. For just a few hours a month, you can impact the life of a child. So stand with us, become a big brother or big sister. All right, Henry and I will take a break. We'll come back. Let's look at this this Minnesota matchup. We'll do that when we come back here on Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sactown Sports.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Harrison Barnes, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
The Black Crowes, live. A night of all their iconic songs. Saturday, May 6th, a special set from the Crowes at the all-new and all-incredible The Venue at Thunder Valley. Tickets on sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss the Black Crowes at The Venue at Thunder Valley.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org.
They say they'll get your biggest tax refund. Jackson Hewitt says your biggest tax refund guaranteed, and a chance to double your tax refund. Thousands in weekly prizes during the Double Your Refund sweepstakes. Your biggest refund times 2, twice the money, so forget about them. File your taxes on the double at Jackson Hewitt today. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to U.S. residents 18 or older who file a 2022 federal tax return. Promotion ends 4/2/23. Visit jacksonhewitt.com for rules.
Check the game from the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sports 1140. KHTK.
O'Reilly! O'Reilly Auto Parts provides more than just the right parts for your repair. Our professional parts people can also offer free check engine light diagnosis. We can scan your vehicle and provide a list of possible fixes. Find the right parts for you or recommend a great local repair shop. Don't ignore your check engine light. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Every pro is an MVP to us. As a Lowe's MVP's Rewards member, you can earn bonus points when you shop select products and brands. Then redeem them for exciting rewards like tools, sports memorabilia, e-gift cards, and more. Join today to become a member and start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Points expire at end of calendar year. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP's bonus points for details.
Hi, guys. It's Mark with Coastside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. Our WAVE technology is backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's been shown to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, but we'll also include something unique that produces powerful results. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. This unprecedented offer is worth $600, but it's free to those who call in the next 2 minutes. Call 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your life back. Call Coastside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
right, continuing here on Sactown Sports. It's game night. Jason Ross in for Scott Marsh, the high flyer Henry Turner. Bottom of the hour, we'll get to our pregame show. Henry and I will stick around for that. Of course, the G-Man will be on the call tonight for Minnesota game one. First time this year. We haven't seen the Timberwolves yet. Another one of those weird things late in the year having to face the T-Wolves yet.
Haven't seen the Pups yet.
No. And Minnesota made big news in late July when they made the trade, and they went for it. They went for Rudy Gobert, and it got a lot of headlines. The overall deal was a whopper. The Jazz agreed to send Rudy Gobert to the Timberwolves in exchange for Patrick Beverley, who was kind of that dog the team needed last year. Malik Beasley, and by the way, Utah's already moved, obviously, Beverley to L.A., but Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Jared Vanderbilt, Leandro Palermo, and the rights to Walker Kessler, who's been really good for Utah this year, and then, of course, 4 additional picks. I mean, it was 9 players, basically, for Rudy Gobert. Ooh. And Rudy Gobert's been an all-star. He won't be one this year. They want to pair him with Towns. Towns hasn't played enough, but even the tandem, let's put it a best-case scenario where they get healthy. They get Towns back, and they start Anthony Edwards, who's tremendous, D'Angelo Russell, probably Gobert and Towns, and then we'll give them one other starter in there. What does that team do to you when they're fully healthy?
On paper, Jason, it's a decent-looking squad because really Minnesota played good basketball last year with just their, quote-unquote, their big three, their version of the big three with Karl Anthony Towns, Ant-Man, and D. Russ. Yeah. Yes. So, looking at their roster, you say, okay, what did they really need? Well, they were like us last year to where Karl Anthony Towns was such a huge piece of what they did. If he got into foul trouble or if he went out for any substantial time, they had nothing else. Yeah. So they needed to look for a big man. Now you go out and you get a Rudy Gobert. What does that do? That frees up a lot off of Karl Anthony Towns. He doesn't have to be the rim protector. He doesn't have to grab all the rebounds. He doesn't have to clog up the middle for everybody. Rudy Gobert does that very well. It takes a lot off of Cat's play, and now you get to see a different version of Cat, and you have really almost a big 4 with a solidified shot blocker in the middle than just having those 3.
Yeah, Gobert's never been the offensive weapon, but he's a guy that's a putback, a rim runner. But is there space then? How do offensively, when they're fully healthy, do they utilize Towns? He can shoot the 3 and shoots a lot of them. Is he just becoming a shooter, or is he could still go on the block and become a weapon there?
I think it's going to be a situation to where it's like pick your poison type night, depending upon who's guarding Karl Anthony Towns. If he has a smaller guy on him, you move him back down into the post. If he has another big center on him, you put him out, stretch him out there at the 4, and he's more adept at making the 3, or at least putting the ball on the ground, 2 dribbles and getting to the basket.
Yeah, when they did the move, I really wondered about it, but I said, here's the one thing it's different. They'll be one of the most different teams.
Yes.
Different can be better. It also, I mean, with so much speed and spacing and 6'7" to 6'9" guys in the league, that could be a problem for the T-Wolves, but also the T-Wolves could pose a problem to them.
Yes. I thought it was going to be a better marriage because, I knew exactly what Towns brought to Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the end-all, be-all. So giving him a break was one of those big things to where now you don't have to worry about him getting in foul trouble and all those other things. He can stay on the floor a lot longer, but he got injured. So we really didn't get a chance to see. That's why I say, Jason, after All-Star break, bro, you're going to see a different style of ball playing through the whole NBA.
Yeah, and I think the other part to me that I wonder about it is obviously the future assets you're giving up, all these future first-round picks. But Beasley was depth. Beasley was a really good player for them. Patrick Beverley was that tough guy they needed. Jared Vanderbilt, a versatile kind of do-it-all type of wing player. So they've lost some of their depth. But, I mean, you look at last night, for example, when they played the Grizzlies, they now start Jaden McDaniels, Kyle Anderson, nice addition over from Memphis, Rudy Gobert, Russell, and Edwards. So I like the 5. It gets a little thinner off the bench. Naz Reid and probably Austin Rivers are their primary guys right now. But you move one out of the starting lineup when Towns is in there, and that's a pretty solid 8.
They give you a solid 8. And then it depends upon how deep your coach goes.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of NBA coaches only go 8 deep.
Which is what Toronto did the other night.
Right. They only go 8 deep, so that's what you need. So that would be good for the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Kings have such a unique situation that they can go 11 deep and it's not a problem.
Yeah, Minnesota with the win yesterday, by the way, gave Memphis another loss. So Memphis has really hit the skids. Minnesota's now 26-25. So they've been working from below 500 for a while. They've been playing better basketball certainly lately, and at some point they will get Karl Anthony Towns back.
And Jason, I like what I see going on in the overall situation in the NBA. How many years has it been since Minnesota has been in the cellar? It was like a couple of years ago, Minnesota was in the cellar like about 5 years straight.
Yeah.
They just couldn't win a basketball game. So now, they're starting to see some sense of light, and they're starting to play better basketball.
Yeah, Minnesota actually in this drought for the Kings of 16 years, we all know that's what stands out. That's a headliner that they've missed the playoffs for 16 years. Minnesota has a worse record in that time.
Right.
But they've made the playoffs twice, 2 different years, but they've had a worse record overall than the Kings in this stretch. So
show you how bad they've been overall. Yeah, so definitely understand that. But I'm happy that, they're playing better basketball. So now you get to see, different types of situations. It just isn't all the time Phoenix, LA, both the LAs. It's just, that's terrible basketball for me when okay, Golden State's going to the championship, just wait. Hey, make them work for it.
Yeah.
So, now it's interesting because, where's Golden State? Okay, they're almost at the bottom, and they are the ex-champs. Are they going to be able to flip the light switch on? Right. Let's see. I mean, it makes it more interesting if you ask me.
It sure does. A lot more teams in this pool right now, Kings included. Minnesota wants to get there. What's quickly, I think, transition, though, with all this trade to get Gobert to have these two bigs, it's Anthony Edwards. He's become their best player, their star, their highlight reel. He's got great dunks in his young career. He can shoot it. He can score at a high clip. He's at almost 25 points per game. He's a pretty young dynamite player right now.
The new wave of NBA superstar is definitely starting to rear his head, Jason. As I look at the NBA, I definitely see the changing of the guards. Think about it. Almost every super team and the old school all-star, the old school MVP, they're in the dumps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, LeBron, LA is in the dumps. Carmelo Anthony ain't even in the league anymore. We looking at who else is old, getting up there. Okay, Golden State, they're ex-champs, but their guys are getting up there. You look at Paul George and Kawhi. They're getting up there. They're in the dumps. So, it's all about this new Jack wave. It's all about, De'Aaron. It's all about Trey. It's all about, Luka.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the new guys that are issuing into the NBA, the new all-stars. It's definitely the changing of the guards.
Yeah, and speaking of all-stars, there's a lot of talk about could Edwards be one. We know about Fox and Sabonis trying to get there. That means it just shows you how much young talent is in there. And even with all these guys that are injured or guys that have we mentioned Gobert, had regularly been an all-star the last couple of years. He's not going to be one. The change does happen, and it happens in real time.
I'm telling you, it's the changing of the guards. We were talking about, how well De'Aaron is playing. He deserves to be an all-star. And then we looked at, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He deserved to be an all-star. And now you throw Anthony Edwards in there.
Right.
Okay, you said he's playing at an all-star level. Some of these old all-stars ain't going to make it.
Yeah, and then, you're right. We'll find out officially. We have the all-star starters announced on Thursday. The rest.
Guys like Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Chris Paul might not make it.
Yeah, no, he's not going to be in. I mean, that's but it used to be a regular. You could just count him in, pencil him in. He's going to be in there for another one, but not happening this year.
The changing of the guards.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, you'd say, Klay Thompson was a shoo-in.
Right, not anymore. Yeah.
They would just throw Draymond in just because the other two went.
Yep.
Well,
Kawhi used to always make it. Yeah, it just keeps happening.
Now, is Paul George going to make it?
I think he will, but I mean,
wait, are you sure Paul George is going to make it?
I'm not certain, and that's the thing. I put this out on social media the other day because I know there's a big controversy. I mean, whatever. This is what I would do first and foremost. I'd make it 15. I think if you have 15 players, because that's fine. It's an exhibition. It's a showcase. But 15 players on there, you're still going to have players 16, 17, and 18 upset. But you got 15. You get the fans to vote the 5 that have some help from the media and the players. But then I feel like there's 10 deserving players. You're going to miss out on a few. That's one. And two, maybe have a metric, just like right now, Steph Curry, AD, Zion aren't available to be the scoring champ because they haven't played enough games.
Right.
Well, if they're not qualified for that, you've made a number. You've set a number to say they're not good enough to be here.
Right.
Then why is there an arbitrary, like, well, we don't know how many. Well, what is the number of games? Pick a number of games that you have to have played to be an all-star.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with that too, Jay. Yeah. Think about it. Dame Lillard. Dame's my guy, but
yeah. I think he's in.
But I'm saying Dame juicy a shoe.
Right.
But has Dame outplayed CJ?
That's a good debate too. I mean, and I think if you go to 15, you alleviate some of that, but not all of it. You're still going to have some argument on player 16, 17, 8, like I said.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I like what I see out of the new Jack all-stars that's coming into this league, man. I mean, the guys that should make the all-star team, and especially some of them for the first time.
Right. Because that's a big deal.
It's huge, man. Yeah. I mean, and these guys definitely deserve it.
Yeah, for sure. All right. We talked about who's on the floor for Minnesota tonight, and it's being brought to you by Gold River Floors. Let the pros at Gold River Floors assist you with all your flooring needs. 3 locations to serve you. Sacramento Flooring off Power Inn Road in Sacramento. Gold River Carpet 1 off Highway 50 in Rancho Cordova. And Gold River Flooring America off East Bidwell in Folsom. We will take our final break. We'll come back. We'll have another segment ahead, tell you what's going on in the NBA and more as game night continues here on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports goes 100% live and local.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Tune into Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Followed by the return of Deuce and Mo.
Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Followed by Cattles and Rami from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. You wanted more local? We're giving you more local on Sactown Sports. Your local sports leader.
The other day, I bought a cockatoo. Hello! He's a handful, but I'll manage. Just like I manage without home internet. Sure, my mobile hotspot is slow and makes streaming shows unbearable, but I'm making do. Oh no, who's this?
It's rating season.
No home internet? It's not that bad.
Don't settle. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $19.99 a month for 1 year with a free streaming box. Call, click, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 2/21/23.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Need to replace your house flooring but not sure where to start? Not a problem. Let the team at Gold River Floors lead you to victory. From working with designers to find that perfect color for you, to having the best installation team, the pros at Gold River Floors will make the entire process a slam dunk. With 3 locations to serve you, Sacramento Flooring off Power Inn Road in Sacramento, Gold River Carpet 1 off Highway 50 in Rancho Cordova, and Gold River Flooring America off East Bidwell in Folsom.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with a Go Fix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
Well, our conversation continued during the break about the All-Star game. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great situation. But
no doubt.
It's, the sport is positionless. And the fact that they have to, by definition, have 3 front court players in each conference, I think makes it a little trickier. Because I also think, for one, in the West, you have more guards that should qualify here. So if you have 3 front court starters, that's the way it's laid out.
We are definitely guard heavy in the West, no doubt.
And you're going to have 3 front court backups. So the 2 extra wild card spots are likely going to be guards. That's going to make it a little tougher for De'Aaron Fox. But I think Fox is going to make it. And I think there are going to be a spot or 2 of maybe someone that does make it gets replaced.
You think De'Aaron's going to make it?
I think it's really close. Okay, let me see if I can do this again off the top of my head. So I'm just going to do the guards. Okay. Curry and Doncic are in as voted. I do think Dame's going to make it.
Okay, Lillard. Mm-hmm.
I do think Shea's going to make it. But I think it's close.
Okay, Shea.
And then there's 2 more wild cards because there's going to be 3 front court guys. And I think De'Aaron's going to make it. And I'm leaving out CJ. Oh, and Ja, thank you.
I was about to say, you going to leave Ja out?
No, he's in. So Ja's in. Actually, Ja's for sure.
So Ja's in.
For sure.
So that leaves 1 spot.
Well, and my debate was, it's De'Aaron, SGA, and CJ.
Yes.
I do not think Booker's in.
You don't think Book's in?
No, I don't.
Because he's been hurt so long.
The weird part is, again, back to the number of games, Booker, AD, Zion, and there's one other potential all-star that's missed some games that are all maybe Paul George, that are all around 27 games.
You forgot about Paul George,
but he'll probably be a front court, I'm assuming.
And then what about the other kid from Memphis, Bane?
He's around the same amount, but he hasn't been talked about. See, it's weird. He doesn't even get mentioned. And
yes, marketing.
Yeah, but he'll be front court. Yeah, I don't think any front court reserves. So Sabonis is in.
Definitely in.
And I think Markkanen's going to make it.
Okay.
And I think Paul George. I think that's the front court reserves.
And see, that's the part I don't like either. Because, see, Paul George can go both ways.
Well, exactly. Take positions out.
Right.
And the other part why you take positions out, and here's my favorite rationale for that is, I like the player draft, the draft now that Giannis and LeBron will do. They've been doing this for years, but they usually do it on the couple nights before. Now they're doing it live before the game. So why do you need X amount of front court players? LeBron could say, I'm taking 11 guards.
Right.
What does it matter? I don't know that the positions matter at all in the game.
It doesn't.
Yeah. But also just go to 15.
Now I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that because I think
and take away the positions.
I think it's more players deserving to go to the All-Star game than the guys that we say, okay, they're a shoe.
Right.
Go to the All-Star game.
Now there's bonuses, there's incentives. Like if De'Aaron makes, that's a big deal. It's a big deal here. I mean, it'd be really cool for him. And a lot of times we find out, once you make it, you're kind of in that fraternity. It's harder to get your way out.
That upper echelon.
Yeah.
But like I say, though, Jay, I really feel like it's the changing of the guards. We just had that conversation. There's no way in the East, I felt like Embiid shouldn't have been on there. You know what I mean? You threw names out there. Jason Tatum, you got the Greek Freak, and we're talking Kevin Durant.
Yeah, those all got starters.
KD, I love you, but it's the changing of the guards, man.
Yeah.
It's the changing of the guards. You're on your way out. You're going to still be on the All-Star team.
Right.
But Embiid is the best center in the league, Jay. That's a travesty that dude ain't starting.
Well, what's interesting and what opened up some spots, I also think, for potential Kings and Markkanen and some of these other guys that hadn't been All-Stars before, but Kawhi Leonard's a regular. It's not going to likely be there.
Right.
Chris Paul's a regular, not going to be there.
Right. Paul George.
I think George will make it.
He's on the bubble.
But,
Clay.
Is AD for sure going to get in?
Clay.
Yeah, Clay used to make it.
Right.
Who else was I thinking?
Draymond usually makes it.
Gobert.
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah. Towns. And you mentioned Ingram. Those are guys that have made it the last couple of years that are all likely not in.
New Jack coming in, baby. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for the league.
Oh, no
and just to have all these players that are
all the parity.
Caliber. Speaking of the league today and speaking of those bigs, I like, you don't always get these matchups. Some nights, they just kind of blend in, but when you play 82, some games mean a little bit more. earlier today, I got the feeling that Joel Embiid had heard enough about Nikola Jokic, and Jokic is the best big. Jokic is the best big. He's on his way to 3 straight MVPs. Today, the Sixers hosted the Nuggets. Denver lost that one to Philly, 126-119. Let me give you the numbers of the two studs here. Nikola Jokic was great, 8 of 12 from the floor, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 blocks, 7 turnovers. But, I mean, that's pretty awesome Joker day. But Embiid, 47, 18, 5 assists.
Say it again.
3 steals, 2 blocks, and the most important thing, a win.
Ooh, let him work with you, Lord.
Joel, I just want to say, let everybody know I'm pretty special too.
Went to church.
Yes, he did.
Man, I mean, but you know, Jay, I love that.
Yes.
Because, you know.
Have a chip on your shoulder. It's okay.
Have a chip on your shoulder. And then when you start talking about the battle of the big men, well, let's see what happens. You guys go head to head.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, let's see who's the best.
Right. And there's a lot of times where we might go, well, the other night we were hyping Fox versus Ja. Ja didn't play, but sometimes, man, they didn't guard each other as much. In this game, those two guys were guarding each other.
No, they're big on
yeah,
big.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Right. You can't avoid it.
It's kind of like Godzilla versus King Kong. It's going down.
Yes. And that's probably what it felt like today. So Embiid and Philly got the win. Denver loses. And we were talking standings earlier too, Henry. It's interesting. At the top of the West right now, I saw the combined losing streak going. So here you go. Denver's the 1 seed. They've lost 2 in a row.
Right.
Memphis has their first 5-game losing streak of the year.
Mm-hmm.
The Kings are third. They've lost 1 game in a row. And right behind the Kings, the Pelicans have lost 6 in a row. So the top 4 teams have combined for 14 consecutive losses.
Wow. Now, right now, since Memphis is on that slide, how far are the Kings behind of Memphis?
3. So had the Kings won the other day, they'd obviously be a little closer. And, you know, with news that Steven Adams, I think, is a really important piece to that puzzle about 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
They're still a really good team, but that's a huge piece. That's more of a piece than the impactful player that some of the other guys are.
You know, watching that basketball team, Jason, I love the way they have that next man up mentality. We've seen it with Ja. We've seen it with JJ. I think that team is good enough in the way they play that they can survive without Adams regular season. Now, playoffs, they're going to need him, and he's a bigger piece.
Yeah.
But regular season, I think they're going to be able to get through.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes down the rest of the way. And we're going to have Kings basketball coming your way in a moment. Henry and I will stick around for that with the pregame show, as it's the Kings and the Minnesota Timberwolves. G-Man will join us for that as well. First of 2 consecutive games against Minnesota, both at the Target Center. We've got that when we come back here on Sactown Sports.
It's Championship Sunday on Sactown Sports. The red and gold look to get back to the big game for a second time in 4 seasons. Then Cincinnati looks to repeat as conference champs, but will have to go through Kansas City on their road to the big game at 3:30. Catch all the action on your home for Championship Sunday at 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports, your local sports leader.
Sactown Sports coverage of Championship